Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here, and today I have the pleasure of going through the 2025 Subaru Outback Touring in the Cosmic Blue with you. Now, Touring in the Canadian market is our mid-level trim. It's one step up from the convenience. It's under the Onyx, Wilderness, and Limited. We have the facelifted 23 Plus version here, so different than the 2020 to 22s. Definitely a more aggressive front end. Different grille, and we have those gray metallic wings off of the sides of the logo, and those lead into these smaller, more aggressively styled LED steering responsive headlights. Kind of Hawkeye shaped, really. They have this interesting little bump out here, and that's for part of the diffuser, of course, so you're not blinding people. We have that faux vent, and again, that adds to the squareness and aggressiveness of the front end. And we have those forward-facing circular LED fog lights. Very, very bright. Quite nice. It's powered by a 2.5 liter four-cylinder boxer engine, 182 horsepower. Good balance of power and efficiency in a vehicle of this size. We've got 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, and of course, Subaru's full-time legendary symmetrical all-wheel drive. It's really one of the last true wagons left on the road. Now, per typical Subaru, we have cladding around the wheel wells, the wheel arches, whatever you want to call them, and along the bottom here. And those are in areas that typically get beat up by rocks or mud or sticks, whatever. And plastic doesn't rust, so that's why they've done that. It is nice. I like it. We've got black painted mirror caps with integrated turn signals. All of the Outbacks, with the exception of the Wilderness, come with this style roof rack. We've got tie downs front and rear, makes it really easy to secure cargo, and these crossbars flip up and you lock them on the corresponding side. That one comes over, locks in the corresponding hole here. So you have crossbars when you need them, and you can tuck them away when you don't need them. So, you know, you go to Home Depot, you grab some 2x4s or whatever, and they don't fit, you can put them on top, even if you didn't plan to initially. We get 17-inch alloy wheels and Yokohama Avid GT mud and snow rated all season tires on these. Fuel door, rear passenger side, it's push to open, and you're running regular, nothing fancy. Now, if the driver door's locked, the fuel door's locked. So if I click lock, pin shoots out there, and that would lock in that hole there. So Subaru logo is unlock, click lock, it's locked. Very, very handy. Took me longer than I'd like to admit to figure that out the first time I got into Subaru with that style. At the back here, we've got backup sensors integrated into the lower bumper, rear bumper, and they will actually apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. It's terrifying. Test it out on a pylon or something. It's great. Proximity tailgate, keys on my person. I block the logo, it beeps, and you back up. If you continue to stay there, it's not gonna open. Pretty simple. Now, this one just came in. Cargo tray is still in plastic, which is nice. But it does come with the cargo tray as standard equipment. We've got a little storage cubby on the right-hand side there and a 12-volt power point, which is very handy if you have one of those portable coolers. Or, you know, a pump for the lake for filling up inflatables. Hard mount physical tie downs in each corner. This is the front plate bracket, which we don't install until someone takes delivery in case they don't want it. Privacy cover is what they call two-stage. So that's stage one. That's not a lot of height. So if you open the hatch and you've got a big box, that's not a lot of height. So all you do, you press and it retracts, and you can fit everything, or lots of things, I should say everything, and it still keeps things hidden. And of course, this can be removed. It's just a piece right there. You press that button, pop it up, and you can actually tuck it underneath the false floor in the cargo tray here. And you've got your tools, and you can kind of see where it's supposed to lie across. These side pieces pop up, and then our tire is underneath there, which I hope none of you ever need to use. We've got grocery bag hooks on either side, and if you need to increase the storage space, you can dramatically increase the amount of storage. I have lots of clients that car camp, and the Outback offers a ton of length, which is nice. Now, to close it, I guess I should point that out. LED cargo light, that'll shut off when we close the hatch. We can close it, we can lock and close it, we can pull down, we can do it from the key fob, we can do it from the driver's seat. But right now, if I do this, everything locks, it closes, the lights are gonna flash, and there's gonna be a small audible. Apparently didn't want to flash for me. That is something that you can deactivate as well. it miffed me there that it didn't actually flash and beep when it closed, and let me show you guys why. It's because when I got out, I didn't close the door all the way, and of course it's not going to do that when it's locked, so I'm going to close it and we're going to redo that. So we're back, it's open, I'm going to click the lock button. And I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but there is an audible chirp, and there we go. So it's because I didn't have the doors closed all the way. Something you learn every day, even when working here for a while. Second row has quite a bit of storage, quite a bit of headroom, quite a bit of legroom. We've got the light and dark gray two-tone cloth upholstered interior here. Now the second row of the Outback is reclinable, so you pull up on that and you push, and don't get me wrong, it's not like reclining in a Lazy Boy, but you do get quite a bit of you get the ability to recline a decent amount, enough to maybe take a nap if you had to. There's a fold down armrest with integrated cup holders. We've got 2 USB ports and vents out of the center console, in addition to vents underneath each front seat to heat up and cool down the second row more effectively. We have our map back pockets on either side for storage. And the rear door card. We have soft touch door card and soft touch armrest. Bottle holder with a little bit of storage. All 4 windows in the Outback are auto power windows, which is nice. You don't see that in a lot of vehicles. And I've got this little slot, this cutout. I get asked about that fairly often, more on the lighter colors than the darker colors because it pops out, stands out. But that's what this extra side impact crash safety bar ties into. And it's designed to stop intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision, which obviously we hope never happens, but prepare for the worst. We've got a textured step, and they want you standing on that if you're mounting something on the roof as opposed to on the tire. And the reason is the tire sits inside the fender. You're not going to get as much of your foot on that as you will on there. And I'm right at the back of the rack system if I'm standing on the rear tire. So I'll probably end up leaning, could put myself in a precarious situation and injure myself, which of course no one wants. We have easy access to the child lock. Solid sounding doors when you close them. Don't know if the mic's picking it up, but it is nice, solid sound, not tinny. We have the ability to lock the doors. So long as the key is on your person within 46 inches, all you have to do, touch the lines, and it locks. You wait a second, you forgot something, again, key within 46 inches, hand in the handle, it unlocks. Up front, door card looks very, very similar with the soft touch materials. We've got 4 auto windows, window lock, power mirror adjustment, bottle holder with a little bit of storage, and then on the driver's seat, it is all power, including lumbar, and it's the same seating material up front as it is in the second row. And these headrests are tiltable, so you can adjust how close to the back of your head you want your headrest, which is a nice change from some of the vehicles out there. By the driver's left knee, we have the ability to open the rear hatch. We've got a scroll wheel for the brightness of the gauges, and we have the ability to turn off the sensor for that proximity liftgate. Some people don't want it on, or if you're loading something on the roof rails and you're standing at the back, it can be a pain. Inside, it's push button start, foot on the brake, light goes green, green means go. Blind spot detection indicators are on either side, and you may have caught it, but we've got LEDs that flash up on the windscreen there. They mean different things. I have a video covering that, and I'll put that in the video description, or this video description. Steering wheel, tilt, and telescopic, so you can adjust it to how you like. Heated steering wheel, which is fantastic. Best thing ever for our winters here. And of course, it is a leather wrapped steering wheel. Left-hand side, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls. We've got our volume controls. This used to be volume toggle, but that changed our small little information display up here. It gives us different info depending what you want to look at. We have the ability to switch from AM to FM to USB to Bluetooth, whatever music sources. Switch between our presets, answer phone calls, hang up or ignore phone calls. We have the ability to issue voice commands or access Siri or Google Assistant. Paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel, upshift and downshift depending what you want. It is an automatic CVT, but you can still manually select your own gears. Wipers are on the right, turn signals, headlights on the left. We have an 11.6-inch touchscreen infotainment system. We'll just take this off for ease of viewing. And they've kind of broken it into 3 portions. Top portion here, we've got widgets, gauges, you can change those. We've got what we're listening to. Third one over is going to be weather, which is part of your satellite radio trial you get with most new Subarus. And we have access to X mode, which is like 4 low in a pickup. So you have to be going under 20 kilometers an hour to engage it, and it only works up to 40 kilometers an hour. You just simply press it. Goes to X mode, deep snow and mud, downhill descent control. Takes a very capable all-wheel drive system and makes it even more capable. Middle portion of the screen, we still have physical volume and tuning knobs. We've got radio, media, and phone tiles, which are pretty self-explanatory. Media is anything that isn't built into the vehicle. So Bluetooth, USB, auxiliary inputs, that sort of thing. Under apps, we have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name. You get a 3-year trial to that. When you put it in reverse, backup camera pops up, rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on, shows you the top of the bumper there, you have something to relate to, and you can clean the backup camera from inside the vehicle. And you do that just by twisting and holding that backwards, which is fantastic. Below that, access to the My Subaru app, car info, you can set maintenance reminders, you can turn off the display, there's valet mode, auto vehicle hold, you can turn off traction control, you can add additional shortcuts if there's somewhere in the menu you go all the time and you don't want to go through X, Y, or Z screen. The home button always takes us here. We have the ability to turn off auto start stop. We can turn on auto vehicle hold, which is a brake holder for construction drive-through or rush hour traffic. Admittedly, I'm not a huge fan of AVH, but I don't have that in my current vehicle, so I'm just not used to it. I can see the benefit to it, but I don't live in a large center that needs it. We've got vehicle control, driving assistance. You can change how a bunch of the safety tech works. Change it to digital miles per hour if you travel into the States. You can hook up 5 devices in total to the Bluetooth, and you can set driver profiles if you want. We have our climate control as the third portion. We have physical buttons on either side, so you can have 2 separate temperatures. We've got our defrost, which is our heated mirrors, our back window, and the windshield wiper deicers. So where your wipers sit on the windscreen is heated, kind of like your back window. It's nice. Now I can control it from there, or I can simply click, I can drag, I can sync it back to driver controlled. I can control where I want my airflow, if I want AC on, max AC. I've got big fan strength buttons that are hard to miss, which is nice. 3 stages of heated seats for both driver and passenger. And you can actually turn off the heated seat. You don't have to go through all 3 options. Press and hold for a second. Let go, turns it off completely. No matter if you're on full, medium, or low. You can turn off climate if you don't want it at all. Below that, we have 2 USBs and an auxiliary, along with a wireless charger. It's white right now. It'll be blue while the device is charging. Got an electronic park brake. And it is an automatic CVT. We do have manual mode, and that's where you will use those paddle shifters I was mentioning earlier. Nice soft touch on the sides of the transmission tunnel here, and there is actually something. You've got a little storage cubby on the passenger side. You don't have that on the driver's side, unfortunately. But if you have to rest your knee on there, or do rest your knee on there, it's not hard plastic, which is nice, a little bit more cushioned. We have very, very deep cup holders here, and you get 1 drink raiser with it. So if you get small or medium drinks, you're not just grabbing it by the lid, you're less likely to drop your coffee or whatever beverage you have. We've got a soft touch armrest. Decent amount of storage in there, 12-volt power point. There's a place to run cords out of so you don't crush it when the armrest is down. And we do have a chain/card tray right there, which is nice. But I actually find that this is quite nicely positioned for me. If you're shorter and you sit a little closer to the wheel, you may not see the benefit to this. Up top, we have an auto-dimming rearview mirror. So no switch to flick, it just automatically dims if someone has their brights on behind you, which is absolutely fantastic. My favorite feature ever in any vehicle. We have integrated compass, and we get 3 stages of, well, 3 stages. We get 3 home link settings, so you can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to your mirror, which is nice. And I often get asked, what are these black boxes behind the mirror? Those are your EyeSight cameras. So those cameras are looking for pedestrians, cyclists, road lines, and other vehicles, and they are what controls our adaptive cruise and our lane centering, which is not quite nice. So when you turn on cruise, you get an image of the Outback there, and you'll see there's 4 bars ahead of it, all the way down to 1. That is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you. You will follow at if you catch up while using cruise. 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you. Each time you press down, it'll decrease that follow distance. You'll follow closer. Lane centering, turn it on. You get the image of the steering wheel in the hands there. These gray lines will go white, just like those distance markers, above 60 kilometers an hour when the EyeSight cameras can see the road lines. And after it can see the road lines, it'll give you gentle steering input to help keep you centered in your lane, which is nice. I didn't think I would like either of these pieces of driving tech. You're way less fatigued after a long day of driving if you're using these. It's not for everyone. I didn't particularly like cruise control before, but it works really well. Above that, we have sunglass storage. We've got SOS and roadside assistance. That's part of your 3-year trial to the My Subaru connected services you get with most new Subarus. We've got our door switch for our lights, and what that means is if I open a door, the interior lights come on. and you can turn that off if you don't like it. We have our sunroof control. It is just the regular size sunroof, tilt and slide. We've got card holders on both sun visors, vanity mirror with light, and I can actually slide this if the sun's directly at my left or it's at my passenger's right-hand side, which is nice. And we do also have 4 grab handles, panic handles as lots of people call them, in the car, or make it easier to get in and out. But those are a nice addition too. That is a quick look at the 2025 Subaru Outback Touring in the Cosmic Blue, our mid-level trim Outback. It's powered by a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine, producing 182 horsepower. It's a good amount of power, good balance of power and efficiency. 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, and of course, Subaru's full-time legendary symmetrical all-wheel drive, best all-wheel drive system in the world. So thank you for sticking with me for my walkthrough of the 25 Outback Touring. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions about this car behind me, any of the cars in our lineup, any of the tech, anything you saw in this video that I didn't elaborate on and you'd like to know, put in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.